Hi, folks. So, the more I think of it, the more I observe it, I feel that, or the more I understand it in a way, I'm willing to say that 99% of all grandiosity is based out of fear and pain. Okay? I'm almost willing to say that a lot of inauthenticity is based out of fear and pain. Um, it's just, no matter how big the guy is physically built, no matter how aggressive he looks, how intimidating he might be, you know, inside, I mean, if it's not true, which a lot of the time it's not true or whatever, it comes from a place of pain. It comes from a place of trauma, pain, hurt, fear, whatever it may be. And it comes from a place of probably not being accepted for who they are and probably not being loved enough. Well, I mean, also not being accepted for who you are is you were told to be something else, or you were told that you were not enough, okay, as you were growing up in your childhood, and maybe into your teenager years as well. That's it, folks. I mean, I think it's as simple as that sometimes, or a lot of the time, like I say. I just think about the people in my life that are grandiose, that wished for people to see this sort of best version of who they are, you know, completely all well-rounded, no flaws, no shortcomings, no nothing, just sort of high achievers, you know, people of great success, of great beauty, of great riches. I mean, even though they're not, but pretending to be, again, whether they are, they aren't, then it's all pretense, and pretending, what I think I'm saying, in a way, is coming from a place of fear, pain, and trauma. Okay, and that's, like I said, it's if you pay enough attention, I really think so. You can see with anybody, people that you know in your life, and whatever it is, people on TV a lot of the time, celebrities, whatever it is. People that are really sort of dependent on the approval of others, obviously, and the opinion of others to a very large degree, is the same thing. In other words, because it's simple, they've substituted an image most of the time that's not who they are, because they felt inferior about who they are. They don't feel confident about who they are. They don't feel anything worthwhile for who they are. So they've substituted an image for this lack, if you want to call it. And this image as well is to cover up the unlovable person, the pain that the person is in, and the fear that they are in. Okay? So, it's very sophisticated. I mean, the very sophisticated mask, if you will. And you can feel it. You can really see when somebody's sort of grounded in themselves and has a sense of self-confidence and a depth to themselves. Or all they just are is mostly just sort of personality or ego or pride or grandiosity or something or other. I mean, you can see it. It's plain and simple. But again, we live in a world that's so oversaturated that it's like you would never think that this is really going on, you know, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's all the time. And you think to yourself, no, it can't be. It can't be this big. Right? In other words, we just accept the reality for what it is. We think this is the way things are. People that, you know, we wear a mask and we're grandiose or whatever it is, that, you know, we seek out the approval of others to a large degree. We conform. We distort ourselves. And that's the natural way of living and being. Right? And it's not. It's not. So, you know, that's it. And so that really, I keep thinking, I just think about that, and often it's like, I see even, I was thinking about this, I'm not 100% sure about it, but I think everybody's looking for love, ultimately. They're looking for affection, they're looking for attention and affection and approval that they never got when they were a child. And I think even people in their 60s, 70s, 80s are still doing it, you know. Maybe they're not looking from their parents, because maybe their parents aren't alive anymore, so maybe some of them are. but for those on, it goes to others. You look at you try and find others to get that sort of you're looking for the approval and the love and affection. And what I'm wanting to say, what I've been thinking about, is that's what I think is why parents as well. I mean, there's many. I don't want to be have a. It's not everything, but why parents spoil their children, and why even grandparents spoil their grandparents, and why they will do what I see, how that people will bend over backwards in order to for their children to approve of them, or to love them, or to show them affection of some kind, or just even for them to look up to them and to honor them, not in a healthy way necessarily, but like, I'm the one who buys you all your toys, right? I'm the one who put a TV in your room for you. I'm the one who, buys you whatever food you want. Whenever you want to go past McDonald's after school, to get a burger or something, I'm the one who does it for you. And so we do it not necessarily out of love for the child, but so the child can look up to us and make us feel worthwhile and somebody special. And again, it's a dangerous game, folks, because like on the one hand, it's like what you're trying to get from the child is what you need to have for yourself, and what you are trying to get from the child through the ways it means that you are doing it is untrue, is inauthentic, and is dangerous to you and the child, but tremendously to the child because you're being inauthentic. That's an inauthenticity. When you're trying to win over the child you're trying to win over even sometimes animals. I mean, you see people that like their dog will be sitting on the couch in their favorite chair, busy sleeping, and the person won't move the dog off the couch because they feel bad for the dog, who's resting on their favorite chair. And then eventually the dog takes over the favorite chair, and the owner has to find another chair in the house, which is maybe not even so comfortable, but doesn't want to, say no to the dog. I mean, I've seen this where people they're not disciplined their pets, they overfeed their pets, they spoil their pets, okay? And especially dogs more like, not so much cats, but feel that, it's, again, they just want the affection from the dogs. I see a lot of that happening with dogs, like why people get dogs in the first place, is so that they can love their owner, alright? But again, not necessarily from a healthy love from the owner's point of view. It's because the owner feels like sort of justified that they're somebody worthwhile or valuable when the dog loves them, and they feel special when the dog, comes to them. I mean, how many people I've seen so many times when they've called the dog, come here boy, come here girl, whatever it is, and the dog just sort of maybe just snuffs them or goes to somebody else, and the person's like, you can see. It's almost sometimes you see when somebody puts out their hand to shake somebody else's hand, and the receiver doesn't see that. How to explain it? It's I'm putting my hand out to you to shake your hand, and you don't see my hand is extended, and it looks like you ignored me, but you didn't ignore me, and I'm just left there standing. It's kind of like that with the dog. Sometimes they call the dog and they come here, and the dog's not interested. And you see it even sometimes with the child, and the parent calls the child, come here, whatever, I got a sweet for you, and the child's like not even interested. And so I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but what I really think is all human beings are looking for love, all right? No matter how sort of, no matter whichever ways they go about like trying to get love. What I mean is again like we it's not we want love, but we don't know what it is that we don't know that it is love, that's what we're wanting. Okay, in other words, we're thinking that like adoration of others and admiration, from others and sort of being, getting other people's attention and other people's sort of impressiveness about who we are. We think that that's what love is. Okay, when I'm popular, everybody loves me, right? In a way, or when I'm successful, I'm rich, I'm beautiful, and everybody loves me. It's like, so what I'm saying is that we don't actually know that it's love that we're needing, and we're on a quest to get love, but because we don't know there's love that we're needing, the quest that we go on is unhealthy a lot of the time, because we're not refining ourselves, not making ourselves actually worthy of love of somebody else, or worthy of honor or respect from somebody else, right? We're not a parent, and I'm saying sometimes like a healthy role model to children, that naturally that a child will just love you for who you are, that you don't have to put on a game, you don't have to spoil the child, right? You don't, with other people, you don't have to sort of convince them that you're sexy, or you're good looking, or you're charming, or you're funny, or you're clever, or something like that, or you're rich, or you're famous. Like, you don't have to convince anybody of who you are. You're just who you are, and then people love you for that. They respect you for that. They honor you for that. You shine your true light, and people, they want to be around you, but for the right reasons. Okay? When you are healthily putting that out. I'm saying, so you see what I mean? But we're putting out the wrong type of signals, or the wrong type of messages to one another. I don't know if this makes sense. I was just thinking, like, it's like you're really dehydrated and you're very, very thirsty, and all you're drinking is, let's say, beer to sort of quench your thirst, or whiskey, or maybe Coca-Cola or something like that. What you're needing is water, right? You don't know that you may be needing water, because maybe you don't even understand your own body. Maybe, you're also on automatic. You feel parched. You feel, so you need to drink. So even the body's telling you need to drink. But in your mind, it's twisted. You think, oh, well, you've seen all the adverts on TV and saying, well, look how good it is to drink a cold beer. How quenching of your thirst that is. You're like, there you go. Right? That feels good. But it's not healing you. I mean, it's not replenishing you. It's not the right kind of substance or substance or energy that you kind of needing. What you're needing is water. All right. What you're needing is healthy water to drink. And so that's what I'm saying, is that because we've become so distorted in ourselves, the love and affection, what we're looking for, the affection of others and the approval of others, and sort of other people's worship and admiration and whatever it is of us, is we're not going about it the right way. But because essentially what we're doing is looking for love. All right. We're not even going in a healthy way, because the love that we're also looking for is to tell me that I'm worthwhile. I'm somebody important. I'm somebody relevant, that I count. And I'm saying the same things over again, but like it's really important, I think, to sort of get to understand this. I mean, for myself, I keep saying it, so I can understand it for myself. So, because what my point is here is that what I'm saying is that I don't think many of us would know what to do with real love. I think it would make us actually feel uncomfortable. You see, that's what I'm saying. Because we want it. We want love, right? We're out for it. I mean, we don't know that's all we're out for again. And we're on the wrong sort of way to get love in the first place. And if we got real love, we wouldn't know what to do with it. Because real love is unconditional. Real love will put its arms around you and never let go. It will just see the absolute best in you. It'll love every fiber of your being, your sinful nature and your creative nature. All types of your nature, unconditional, right? And so overwhelming that you would feel, in other words, your own lack of self-worth or self-value, whatever it is, would feel uncomfortable, because you would feel like the person who's loving you is lying. They're being inauthentic. You would feel that would make you insecure, because you don't feel that it's worthwhile, and obviously it's going to make you uncomfortable. Do you see what I mean? It's strange, this. It's funny, this, but I've known it for myself sometimes with some people in my life. It's been in relationships, romantic relationships, where I felt like somebody really loved me, and I was like, what do you love me for? I'm such an a-hole, I got nothing to love about me. You obviously something wrong with you. You have to have your head checked, okay? I wasn't brave enough to open myself up completely and say, okay, I see where you're coming from. I can resonate the feeling that you're putting out towards me. The feeling of worthiness, the feeling of like, wow, you actually look at me and think that I'm somebody special. Like, yes, I can resonate that with you with that. I feel complimented by that, you know. And it takes an open heart, it takes courage, it takes bravery, whatever, you know, expansion and acceptance to say, wow, okay. And even more so, I mean, this is something that I challenge with, but the fact is that you are loved by the universe, you know, unconditionally. I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow, folks. It really is. I mean, for myself at least. I think sometimes it comes easy for some. For some it doesn't come easy at all, right? But I'm saying that you are loved unconditionally, alright, by the universe, by the goddess, by Gaia, I don't know, the cosmos, whatever it may be. The source, if you want to call it, you know. I mean, you go and tell a lot of people that. The ones who really also are, they know in themselves they just sort of horrific individuals, okay? They're an embarrassment to themselves and society, and some people know it deep in their hearts, and it's like, and they're sinful, and they lazy, and they tick all the 7 deadly sins in a way, and they know it to a certain degree. They can't fully appreciate it, but a lot of people say, well, I'm not worthy of love. The universe, God, the source cannot love me. There's no ways. Look at this is the source we're talking about here. Come on now, this is the Alpha Omega. This is the big boss here. You know, I mean, come on. He or she's got a lot more important things to do. There's a lot many more saints along the way. People that are doing good causes. What am I doing? You know. I'm corrupted and whatever it is. And so what I'm saying, I think a lot of the process of life is the healing and the coming to the experience of love, really, ultimately. Yes, I mean, it sounds so cliche, like, you know, all you need is love. Love is all there is, in a sense, and it's like, it's too much of a contradiction and duality to even try and understand. Especially in the times that we live in, especially when we hold such negative thoughts about ourselves, you know. It's like, I'm so unlovable, I've got nothing to offer anybody else, or something or other. There's nothing special about me, right? So not only can a dog not like me, can a child not appreciate or acknowledge me or love me, but not even an adult, everyone, and the goddess herself. There's no ways. And can you see what we do? We're just isolating ourselves more and more, and the more that we close ourselves off to the potential of unconditional love and true love, authentic love, the more isolated we become, and the further into pain we go, the further into loneliness we go, and the more into fear we go. Right? The darker it gets, folks. For many, many, many different reasons. For many, many different reasons. So yeah, folks, let's just not be fooled by the people that what looks like maybe that they've lost their way or something, or they're just wretched individuals. Okay, I mean, I know there's such things as narcissists, and that's for sure, and psychopaths and whatever it is, but I think ultimately and surely that all comes from a place of pain and suffering and lack of love. You know, I really do. I met one of the biggest narcissists that in my life, maybe 5 years ago. He's a complete cocaine addict, actually heroin, but really anything that he could get his hands on. But he said that one of the reasons of why he took heroin was because it made him feel like somebody special. I was just blown away by it. You know, it just made him feel good about himself. This is what he said. And he was a full-blown narcissist. He ticked all the boxes. You know. So even the narcissist, I think, to some degree, somewhere deep down inside, that I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe borderline narcissist. I don't know. Sometimes extreme narcissists, you just feel that they're just like some kind of entity or something like that, with no soul or spirit or something, whatever. A robot of some kind. You know, I don't know, these things go way deep, folks, but that doesn't matter. I'm saying even for your borderline narcissist or whatever it is, it's pain, folks. It's disconnectedness from source, disconnectedness from all type of beauty, inner and outer beauty, any kind of truth, any kind of love. So it's amazing. It's like just coming off and anything off on this. It's like, so we're on this desperate search to quench this drought that we have, or this sort of thirst that we have for love. And when we get it, it's like it's so bitter in a way. It's so bitterly sweet in a way that it's almost hard to even swallow, or even to let in. Isn't that an irony, folks? It's like you cannot let love in until you love yourself. Gee whiz. Ow, folks, it's like... And that's why it's like you have to heal yourself before anything else has to happen. You have to, So important. I mean, gee whiz. I keep saying, no matter how many billions of people on this planet, no matter how many billions of people have lived before in time and history, no matter how many galaxies and universes there might be out there, and different dimensions there might be out there, how much alien life might be on, like I'm saying on one of the other, I think is it Mars? No, which planet they can fit Earth into 1,000 times? I mean, just something that's massively populated, and all the species in the ocean. And it's about you. It comes down to you and your story, not your ego and identification. What I mean by story, but it comes to your experience, and it comes down to that. It comes down to you have the ability to love yourself, and to let love in, and to be loved by the universe, and to love the universe back, and that's it. It's about you. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world, at this current time. I mean, that's secondary. It's all very important, all plays into it, but the primacy of things is your own self-love. And that's what I really like the saying, is that God helps those who help themselves. It's like you have to help yourself first. You have to help yourself first. You are the first and foremost and most important person in this planet, in this universe, in this dimension, and all the other dimensions. It's you, baby. Now, how do you tell somebody that has that feels not very good about themselves, very well about themselves? How do you tell them? So you smoked something. Yeah, I can't stand it when people say, "Give me what he's smoking." It's like, but that's what they'll say to you, because it sounds so far out. And can you imagine the travel and the journey that you would have to make in order for one to get to that place of saying, it was never far out. This was what I'm saying to you, is that you're a divine being, or whatever. It's all about you, and self-love, and love from the universe and the goddess. And it's it returns to about you. And so you see what I'm saying? When you the same person who tells you, look, whatever you're smoking, give me some of that, or something. That kind of reaction, that sort of cynical reaction. Think about the destination that person has to travel to, from that place into a loving place, into a self-loving place. It's a long journey, folks, and that's what I ultimately think enlightenment is about. Or there isn't such a thing really for myself, or a place. It's awakening. That's what I think it's about. But it's an unfolding process, obviously. All right, folks. So. Oh yeah, man, just enjoyed that one. I hope you did too. Alright, we'll chat soon. Take care, and much love.